a point that I've made before. We actually have a very popular YouTube video out there called the ABCs of fake seeds.
Hmm.
And you're right, a seed is a seed. And you really can't tell if the seed you bought is really what it is, you know? So it
Right.
comes down to ethics amongst the breeder and ethics amongst the seed bank. And there's this kind of rampant thing going on right now in the marijuana seed world where people are kind of buying. They're doing like an SEO kind of thing where they're getting 20 domains and they're putting up all these different seed banks, and then they'll take the most common strains or most popular strains and sell the seeds as that, when they're buying a lot of seeds bulk other places and then just selling the seed under different names. So they could have 30 strains on their seed bank, but it's only one or two actual seeds or seed strains, and they're just sort of white labeling and pushing out stuff and using hype and craze to sell stuff. So it's harder than ever to, if you're new into growing cannabis, it's harder than ever to know who to trust or where to turn when you go online to buy cannabis seed. So
But even after you buy the seed, it's to me, I feel like it's growing is almost the same thing as opening up a pizza restaurant. I mean, it's all in the hands. So I could get a batch of seeds from you, and the guy next door can get a batch of seeds from you, and we could both diligently go about growing them. But at the end of the day, mine's going to turn out different than his.
absolutely,
Based
it's
on
all about
right,
environments. You know,
right,
environments make cannabis what it is. But that brings me to another point that I always kind of joke about when people kind of get braggadocious about their cannabis or their pot, and they say, "Oh, California grows the best pot, or Colorado, or Tennessee, or whatever place it may be." I just laugh and say, our closets are the same size as your closets. So
right.
if you can mimic the same environment that I have, that you have through environmental controls, we'll grow the same high quality cannabis. So just because it's, it's this state or that state really doesn't mean anything, as much as it means, do you have your environmentals controlled? But to your point, absolutely. Just because we both buy the same pack of seeds, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get the exact same stuff, or yours is going to be better than mine, or you might get all males and he might get all females and have all excellent plants. So there's a little bit of lottery. I always tell people when they buy in seed packs, you're kind of playing the lottery in here, but you could hit a Bruce Banner, a strain that becomes a clone only, and hit the lottery. So I think it's fun to play the lottery when you're doing seeds rather than always buying clone onlys.
Sure. And what are some of the specific challenges when it comes to, let's say, the genetics in the industry?
Well, it's all, at this point, I feel like, is a bit negative, but I feel like it's all painting with different shades of gray at this point. Unfortunately, what people like is often mimicked. So when we see strains that are popular, a lot of times breeders will kind of jump on the bandwagon and all make the same stuff, cross to the same stuff. And once you do that, you really start to muddy the gene pool up, where all of a sudden everything is sort of just a different cross of everything.